Hello guys, welcome back to VP Reacts, and I'm Peter.
I'm Vicky.
Guys, welcome to another episode of our reaction videos. And for today's episode is a speech.
Yeah, a speech.
Yeah, a speech you're getting that was from Dr. King.
Yeah.
I think it's King Luther.
Dr. Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
I've just heard him on maybe on reggae songs when I was growing up, but I didn't have that curiosity to jump more to know more about him. But this was courtesy of Trey. Thank you very much for even fulfilling my curiosity, because I'll have to know who is him and what does he spread. But I know he's just a good vibes. He's a king of maybe how can you call them? He usually fight for rights activists.
I feel like maybe it's like an activist or something, because I've heard him. I've had many says or writing from Doctor. Have you ever come across maybe in magazines or something written quoted some quotes?
Some quotes,
I think that's the right word.
But
I've been coming through many quotes about Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yeah, I think there is a song of a reggae song that is mentioned in. I think that's the first time I heard of him. Okay. But for today, yeah, guys, we are ready for it. Yeah, the King, Dr. King was explaining the real reason for integration and American greatest resistance. Resistance in the year, I think this is 1967.
Exactly.
Guys, welcome here and enjoy the speech, the video with us to the end.
And this was courtesy of Trey. So thank you so much, Trey, for another amazing episode that you're going to watch with you guys. So as usual, guys, for us to be here with us, subscribe, remember that, and also feel free to check out on our description. We have our Buy Me Coffee link together with our Patreon community link. The purpose of the two links are just in case you want to support the channel, maybe request a song, share videos, recommendations, or even movies. So all of them come with them on our Buy Me Coffee. If you don't support Buy Me Coffee, check out our Patreon community for more. Otherwise, let's get to the speech.
Let's know the reason why.
Yeah.
Honesty impels me to admit that America has broad racist elements still alive. Racism is still existing in American society in many areas of the society, North and South. And the other thing is that there has never been a single, solid, determined commitment of large segments of white America on the whole question of racial equality. I think we have to see that vacillation has always existed, ambivalence has always existed, and this to me is the so-called white backlash. It's merely a new name for an old phenomenon. I see the white backlash as a continuation of the same ambivalence and vacillation of white America on the whole question of racial justice that has existed since the founding of our nation. I think the other thing that...
Sorry, I think what he's just talking about is, I feel like it's facts, not even in American countries only, but I think it's just something that is rampant maybe within all over the world. There is that think of racism that is still going on, no equality, maybe based on colors and all that. Like I think it's just speaking facts.
Yeah, and considering that quoting the year that he was speaking at the exact time, I think it was worse.
By the way, that time,
it was really
at least at the moment, people are becoming more educated, more friendly, and all that.
But at the time, I think it was worse.
Exactly.
But let's continue.
We must see at this time is that many of the people who supported us in Selma, in Birmingham, were really outraged about the extremist behavior toward Negroes. But they were not at that moment, and they are not now, committed to genuine equality for Negroes. It's much easier to integrate a lunch
Negroes
than it is to guarantee an annual income, for instance, to get rid of poverty for Negroes and all poor people. It's much easier to integrate a bus than it is to make genuine integration a reality and quality education a reality in our schools. It's much easier to integrate even a public park than it is to get rid of slums. And I think we are in a new era, a new phase of the struggle, where we have moved from a struggle for decency, which characterized our struggle for 10 or 12 years, to a struggle for genuine equality.
Yeah.
And this is where we're getting the resistance, because there was never any intention to go this far. People were reacting to Bull Connor and to Jim Clark rather than acting in good faith for the realization of genuine equality.
Okay.
But you know that many young Negroes don't want anything that smacks of the American white middle class. But do they want something that smacks of whatever is the black middle class? Or do they just not want bourgeois values, which after all are the basis of this democracy?
Well, I think we have to see what they are saying. I would be the first to agree that integration does not mean giving up everything that has an Afro-American taint, so to speak, a background. I think there are certain unique things within any culture and certain cultural patterns that when you get to the process of amalgamation can really lift the whole culture. And it seems to me that integration at its best is the opportunity to participate in the beauty of diversity. I think the other thing that we've got to see is that these young people are saying that there must be a revolution of values in our country. As Jimmy Baldwin said on one occasion, what advantage is there in being integrated into a burning house? And I feel that there is a need for a revolution of values in America, because some of the values that presently exist are certainly out of line with the values and the idealistic structure that brought our nation into being. Unfortunately, we haven't been true to these ideals, and many of the values of so-called white middle-class society are values that need to be reviewed and re-evaluated, and in a real sense they need to be changed. So I think the young people in the Negro community who are raising these questions are raising some very profound questions about our total society. In other words, they are saying that there must be a restructuring of the architecture of our society where values are concerned. And with this I would agree with. So in the quest for integration, I think we can offer our whole nation something, because there are three evils in our nation. It's not only racism, but economic exploitation of poverty would be one, and then militarism. And I think in a sense, and in a very real sense, these three are tied inextricably together, and we aren't going to get rid of one without getting rid of the other.
Okay.
I think the biggest problem now is that we got our gains over the last 12 years at bargain rates, so to speak. It didn't cost the nation anything. In fact, it helped the economic side of the nation to integrate lunch counters and public accommodations. It didn't cost the nation anything to get the right to vote established. Now we are confronting issues that cannot be solved without costing the nation billions of dollars. Now I think this is where we're getting our greatest resistance. They may put it on many other things, but we can't get rid of slums and poverty without it costing the nation something. Honesty impels me to it.
I think at the time it was really hot.
Exactly.
Yeah, from what I can reading from the speech, he has mentioned even some other groups, a younger group than him, that were fighting the same thing, but coming with maybe at the
a
time,
different perspective.
Modernized at the time, modernized request, demands for that equality.
And he talked about integration. What is integration?
Integration just is, I can use integration,
because he gave an example of people sharing, I don't know, buses in schools. Like, I think it's that I can take it like it's that equal sharing of maybe public enmities.
Integration, in my word, it's inclusivity, including others, like integration. But I think it's a kind of inclusivity.
Like you're free to share things together, maybe public things, like he talked about like things like schools, hospitals, like amenities, public amenities like schools, hospitals, things like that.
Oh, let's find out. There was also another one. Integration means bringing different races, especially blacks and white people in the US together in schools, neighborhood, public facilities, and workplaces without segregation. I say the inclusivity.
Oh, so it's like just being free with one another. The fact that people can like it's like doing away the racism part, like being together, like including everyone, the blacks, whites, like together maybe in schools, public, all that without any maybe differentiation and they just are including all of us. And there's another word that was mentioned there that I know you also don't know the meaning, the Negroes. The Negroes.
Yeah, Negroes. He says that Negroes, which is old term, it's old term that was historically referred to black people of African descent. It's a Portuguese word. It's from a Portuguese word negro, meaning black. Early in the 80s and 90s, it was widely used in English, especially in the US, to refer to the
black people
from who have the
African roots.
Who have the African roots, the Negroes.
So the Negroes.
So including, I think he was speaking about first he said that they had they moved one step of in integration in buses, in schools. But the best or the larger part, I think, from what I've understood, guys, am I right? Like at the time on the social classes, I think the Negroes were a bit lower than the others.
Than the whites.
Sorry to use the word, but I've seen him using the Negroes. So I think they were a bit lower. So for a good integration or a good society inclusivity, he was speaking or fighting for maybe a financial, maybe something like that, assistance, so that if you want to include them in all things, you must first uplift them in the social classes, uplift them so financially. They can be at least at the same level.
I can add that by saying maybe at that time, maybe some because they are living in maybe in white countries, people, maybe at that time jobs were even for you to be given a job, it can people are biased on that.
Exactly.
Like
so
they can be like, you're black, I cannot give you a job, or a black cannot give a white a job. So there were those things. So maybe in that stage, many people are suffering to get jobs, to get finances and all that. So making them to be a bit lower.
It leaves the Negroes to be a bit lower in the leading to poverty and slums.
Exactly. So they wanted, he was really fighting for that corruption. Like it should be over. Like people should just impress each other if it's getting jobs, like
jobs
and all
and
that.
Everything. So I think the greatest resistance was from the maybe the government at the time was because it was financially included, like the financial was mentioned there, because bringing down or what can I say, just controlling or taking down the slums, or improving their living lives of living.
He talked about the slums.
The slums.
So it will be like it needs a lot of finances. That's why maybe the government were really having like they were not backing that up.
At first they had already integrated schools, like they can learn, but maybe they lack funds to learn there. You are being allowed to learn here, but you don't have the financial.
But exactly. But I don't know, I read a story about, I don't know which part of the world, whereby people are being separated. I think it was just a movie or something. You find that the whites are they will pass through, maybe kids just have their own buses, and then the blacks will be traveling on their buses. I think it's a movie or something.
I think that's what was happening at the time before the integration came in. And then they were demanding for at least uplifting their classes, social classes and more. I think what was the king was talking about. And as a result, it could be easy. And I think they made it, because at that time, I also have many friends who were maybe there, who are going there to school and anything, but we don't.
This time, by the way, you find even free. Many Africans are just going to the white countries too, or we call them like abroad. People are going abroad to get greener pastures. So I think nowadays it's way better. There is not that much racism and all
so
that.
I can say they succeeded.
Yeah, they really succeeded
to have a fair world.
But that's really great, getting people interacting together, like visiting. You can even go tour in a country. Many white people are coming to our country to tour, but we really impress them. Like, that's a good thing.
I think here in Africa we don't have a problem.
By the way,
our
people
problem is maybe at the opposite. We usually make them more superior, even like
but I think
fun.
Like, I feel that's good because like we get a chance to really impress them and learn many things, get to interact.
By the way, that is it. Thank you, Trey, for this one. You can also share your thoughts if you were there at the time. Give us some experience, some stories, and I think guys, they succeeded on this, so it's a success.
By the way,
it's a joy, a fun at the moment, because you're just quoting from back then, 50-60 years back.
Exactly,
Thank you for this. Share your thoughts. Don't forget to like it, and if you have any video that you'd like to give us to give a review or a reaction on it, don't forget to check our description. There are 2 links there, or maybe an email us, and we'll jump into it as soon as possible with this one.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope to see you soon, and thank you so much, Trey, for this.
We out.
Bye.